calculator, okay? Try some things. Go ahead in your calculator. Do 4 to, take some guesses. 4 to the what power? Okay, is it 4 to the second power? Try 4 squared. 4 to the second power. What's 4 squared? 16, right? So it's got to be bigger than the second power. What is it? 3. 4 to the third power equals 64. When I say try it, I mean do it like this. 4 to the second power. Okay, that's not 64. 4 to the third power, you could probably get pretty close. 64. Okay, 4 to the third power equals 64. So, all you need to do on this one, on the practice, is x equals 3. Okay, the answer is 3. They're asking you what power of b gives you y? What power of 4 gives me 64? Okay, so they're just asking you to find x on that one. Y'all see what I mean?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, it's pretty straightforward, right? They're usually always giving you the base. You're trying to figure out where things go and everything. Okay, let's see, 10. Log base 5 of 0.2. All right, what did I say about decimals earlier? Turn it into a fraction, okay? Because it's going to be a lot easier to see what you're doing and what numbers are doing to each other if you can see the fraction. So go ahead and turn this into a fraction for me. Okay, log 5 of 1 over 5. All right? Okay, and what it's asking me over here then is 5 to the x power equals 1 over 5. Okay, well, we just talked about this on the front. How can it go from 5 to 1 over 5? What makes it flip the fraction? Right, a negative, right? A negative number. Okay, and if it stays the same, that means it was negative 1, right? So that means it's 5 to the negative 1 equals 1/5. Check it in your calculator. Do 5 to the negative 1. So x equals what on this one? Negative 1. Anytime it goes from a whole number to a fraction, anytime it goes from a whole number to a fraction or vice versa, it's got to be a negative, okay? And because it started out as 5 and it just flipped it and stayed 5, then it's negative 1. Okay, if the number changes, then it's going to be negative something else. Okay, 2 more. All right, 11. Log base 1/5 of 125. Okay, so what's my base? 1/5. Okay, and we're looking for x equals 125. All right, so 1/5. Well, what do you notice starting with my base into my ending number? What has happened? All right, it's gotten bigger. What did we just talk about on the last problem? It flipped, right? 1 was a fraction. 1's a whole number. What makes it flip? Negative, right? So you know x is going to be negative. All right, negative. How did you know it was 3? All right, well, you know it's negative. Okay, if it was negative 1, it would be 5, right? If it was negative 2, what would it be? 25. Good, because 5 squared is 25. Or how did they get 125? 5 times 5 times 5, exactly. And they flipped it, so it's negative 3. All right, good job, y'all. All right, and it's okay if you just guess because you can, first of all, you can check your answers in the calculator. You can also check your answers on the practice. There's a button that says check answer. Okay, it's not going to tell you the right answer, but it'll tell you if you got it right or wrong. Okay, all right. Yeah, exactly. It's an educated guess. You kind of knew if you weren't positive, but you knew the direction you were going in. Right? If you did positive 3, then you would have got 1 over 125. right? You would have thought, okay, it needs to be flipped. What makes it flip? Negative. All right, good. And then number 12, log base 36 of 6. Okay, so log base 36 of 6. What's my base? My b? 36. Okay, we needed x, and it equals 6. Okay, now it did not go from a whole number to a fraction, right? So it's not negative. That only happens if it's not if they're both whole numbers. It's not negative. It's got to be a positive answer, right? But it got smaller. Okay, and how are 36 and 6 related? Right, it's the square root, right? 6 squared is 36. Okay, well, the way to write a square root like this is, if you remember, this is square root of 36. I'm sorry, that's 33. 36. Right? A 2 goes there, a 1 goes there. Right? It's an understood 1. Okay, so you remember how to write this in fraction? Which one goes on top, which one goes on bottom? The root is 2. It goes on the bottom. So I write 36 to the 1/2 equals 6. Right? X equals 1/2. Okay, let's make a little note here. Okay? If y is smaller than b, b, but not